This story takes place after defeating Xenos in Stormblood. A man named Gilio asks for your protection from a group named the Lemures in Thanalan, claiming that they're extorting him for money and led by a Reaper. Following this, the Lemures appear and explain that Gilio owes them money for a job they completed. However, the Reaper notices your strength, so she makes a deal with Gilio to absolve his debt because she thinks you're interesting. Then the Reaper asks you to visit Lemure headquarters when you get a chance, and you do. Then the Reaper explains that she knows who you are and introduces herself as Drusilla. Following this, Drusilla asks you to help her kill a very strong Voidsent named Orcus. Side note here, Voidsent are monsters that come from the void and consume Aether like the Cloud of Darkness. But getting back to the story, Drusilla reveals that she's Garlean, on top of explaining that the only way to defeat the Voidsent is to become a Reaper yourself. So Drusilla asks you to use the Reaper Jobstone and you summon a Voidsent that will become your partner. Side note here, Jobstones contain memories and experiences of past users and give them to the current user. This explains how you and the Scions are able to switch between different jobs without training for weeks or months. But getting back to the game, Drusilla asks you to join the Lemures and become a Reaper, so you do. After this, you and Drusilla go on your first job, which is to help a Lemure named Agnes clear out a cave of monsters. After dealing with the monsters, Agnes thanks you and leaves. Then Drusilla explains a couple of things to you. Number one is that there are many pure-blooded Garleans that would rather be in Garlemald with their families than fighting this war, but they don't have a choice. Two is that the Garleans originally lived on the southern side of Isilbard, but they were eventually driven to the cold north where the Empire stands today. Number three, magic tech and Reaper techniques were developed for survival because Garleans would have gone extinct if they weren't able to defend themselves back then. Lastly, the Lemures are made up of and help Garleans living in exile. After this, you attend a meeting with Drusilla, Agnes, and Herman, another member of the Lemures. In this meeting, it's revealed that Orcus might have been seen in Gridania killing a woodcutter, on top of Drusilla revealing that Orcus killed her entire family. So after getting these points out of the way, Herman stays in Thanalan while you, Drusilla, and Agnes go to Gridania. During your search, you find and defeat a Voidsent who had a ring, and when you regroup with the others, this ring confirms that Orcus did not kill the woodcutter. So Agnes leaves to tell the client the job is finished as you and Drusilla return to Lemure headquarters. Unfortunately, later on, a Lemure reports that Agnes has been murdered, so you and Drusilla go to see the body and it's Agnes. Following this, your duo meets Agnes's wife to give her the bad news. However, she doesn't blame Drusilla and asks us to avenge Agnes. Following this, you and Drusilla have a conversation where she tells you a couple of things. She realized the Voidsent in Gridania was one of Orcus's minions, but she didn't realize it at the time. Then she goes on to explain how Orcus harasses and tortures his victims. And after explaining this, she asks if you are still willing to help her defeat the Voidsent. And you are. So now Drusilla considers you family. After this, Orcus appears and it's using Drusilla's grandfather's body. And after harassing your duo, Orcus leaves. Following this, you and Drusilla complete a job, and after it's finished, she tells you a story about her grandfather, Rulus, explaining that Rulus didn't agree with Garlemald starting a war, so Rulus attempted to assassinate Emperor Solus, who is itself, but he fails to realize that Solus is more than a man, so he begins to give more of himself to his Voidsent, which allows his Voidsent to take over and become Orcus. After Drusilla's story, both of you return to Lemure headquarters, but unfortunately Orcus appears and kidnaps Drusilla. But after some time passes, the Lemures find out that Drusilla is being held in an abandoned castle near Ishgard, so you go alone to save her. When you arrive, Drusilla is unconscious and you fight Orcus alone. However, during the fight, Drusilla wakes up and helps you fight Orcus and your duo wins. And with Orcus on its last legs, Drusilla gives the final blow. Following this, you and Drusilla return to Lemure headquarters, on top of Drusilla promising to help all people who need the Lemures and not just Garleans. Then she wishes you luck on your future journeys. And that is the end of the Final Fantasy XIV Reaper timeline. With that being said, if you want to see more timeline videos like this one or video essays on your favorite video games, like, comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on. But with that being said, it's been Skipx and I'm out.